Let's get cracking, man. Should be live. I believe so.
With Trading 212, you can buy
Let's have a look. 1 second, guys. All right, we're live. Okay, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys doing well. Good morning to you guys. Happy Tuesday. Apologies for not going on the stream yesterday. Yesterday itself, I had a crazy ass fever from like Sunday night itself, and the guy, shout out to the guys at DCC. They were telling me, take the day off, don't do a stream, blah blah. And yeah, I'm grateful for that as well. So feeling a lot better today. So we'll go back on the stream itself. We'll check out what's going on. So the point is today really is like we'll talk about the, like as many of you guys are aware, they've been shorting the market left, right, and center. And long and shorting, you have to bear in mind, there's two ways of playing this, right? Number one, you play this higher time frame or you play this lower time frame. I'm a lower time frame trader, so do not get that mixed up. Do not think that, yeah, Daink is bearish or go to 14K. I've never said I'm going to go to 14K now. I never said that. So please do not think for a moment we're going to 14K. I've been playing it left, right, and center within the range. It's a range bound environment, and this is where I shine. This is where I, like many of you guys have seen me, play the range bound environment, and I've just played this. It's just easy. It's ping pong, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and that's all it is. So I did a short yesterday, on Sunday night, with the DCC. We timed it quite perfectly as well. There was a scalp short which expanded quite well, and it did a really good trade. So the guys in the DCC jumped in as well at the same time. Some of them jumped in a bit better price than I did actually, by probably about $1 or so. But it was really tight. We managed this together, and happy days. We actually smashed the target, and off we go. So without further ado, let me just double check this, right? Because where's ETH? Because you know what it is. It's like I'm using the Mac. I'm having a bit of an issue with my thingy, with my what you call it? Come on, Billy. With my PC. I'm having a bit of an issue with the PC itself, so fuck that. We're gonna play this as it is. 1 second. So we just briefly touch on base on on this short itself. I'm gonna explain to you what happened. So I took a short yesterday. I got stopped out in profit. I took two different separate shorts, right? The guys in the DCC exactly knows what I'm talking about. I took a short around 1365 at first, and my stop loss was around here, 1374, I believe, 1374 around here, 1374, and I played it up there, and I brought my stops over here, got stopped at yesterday. But it's the scalp that's really interesting. The scalp is where which was really timed out really well. Okay, number one. So we got a range band environment. Let me just bring this up onto the 1 hour first. Number one, we got a range band environment. What is the range band environment? What is this? We got range low. Okay, you guys probably want to see this actually. Let me just delete that. Let me just bring this up. There we go. So we got a range low, and we got a range high. This is the range band environment it's been playing. Up and down, up and down. So you can play this from low to high over a couple of days, high to low to high, high to low. Over a couple of days, you could do that. What I've been doing in quite different to everyone else is I've just been focusing within this low to this high to this low, this low to this high, within the areas of the quadrants. That's what it is. It's a range bound environment. I'm playing it within the quadrants, playing it within Monday's range, playing it within the weekly range, playing it within the monthly open, all that kind of stuff. We've done this over and over again. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back into the previous videos, and then we can talk about that. And it's all pretty much self-explanatory, that we're just playing it within the range itself. That's all it is, nothing else. So this scalp was quite interesting. So when I see a fast move up, so we were watching this last night, not last night, on Sunday. We were watching this Sunday as a group, and we saw this pump up to the market. When we saw this pump up to the market, and then it got so we saw this fast move up here, right? Up to here. So this was the mid-range, right? This is the mid-range of that range I was showing you. Then I was like, okay, cool. If I'm going to enter a short, I didn't enter a short then. I was like, okay, let it do its thing. I want the daily close to happen. Once we have a daily close, we have something to work on with as well, because weekly close was going to come up at 1 o'clock US, so it's 1 o'clock England time, right? So it's about UTC time, right? So midnight UTC time is what the time I was looking for, okay? So I wouldn't take a short over here. Why? Because we got the daily close coming. Let the daily close come, then we have something to work with, right? So what we have, right, quite clearly, as you can see, let me just zoom into this. We popped up, right, back at around 11 o'clock. Around 11 o'clock, we popped up. So we still haven't had the daily close yet. Popped at 11 o'clock, we went into the 75% range. And then as you can see right over here, this is where it's interesting now. It started to form a range. This is how I picked out this, the scalp. All right, for you guys who want to know how to scalp, I mean, we do. It's a tricky market to play a scalp, but I would say do not play scalps just yet unless you have guidance or you know how to trade. Really, knowing how to trade pretty much is quite important as well, and understanding like simple market structure, simple like support and resistance and all that kind of stuff. Then you can play out. So with the guys, I was like, guys, listen. I was telling them I drew a plan. The plan was already there. It's on Twitter. You guys can see it as well. And I was like, okay, around this time we had this range going on. So we had this range going on, and you can see clearly. Let me change the color. Change it to red. It's red, fam. Okay, this is red. Don't tell me it's pink. Oh fuck. Let's have a look. So we had this range band environment over here, right? Price was ranging there, and as you can see, we got, price was ranging, comes back down, resistance, resistance, resistance. Then we have the close over here. 1 o'clock was the close, so the close was about here. So I said to the guys, yo, listen guys, if we pop into here, start breaking down, let's fucking send this back down. Where to? Fill out this inefficiency here, fill out this inefficiency here. Like you can target the mid range as well, and that's it. For me, I was just taking top profits over here. That's it, I'm done. I want to front run it, and I'm happy to front run it, and that was all it was. And literally, as we come back into it, so we come back in, we take out these stops over there. Let me just try and zoom into this. You know what, because I'm on Mac, it's a little bit difficult for me. It's very different compared to PC. It is, so bear with me guys, yeah? So then as you can see, we come back into it. We take out these stops there, into this. Take out these stops here, into this area of consolidation right there. I took an entry right over here at 1368. My stop loss was above the block itself, 1370. And as we see, we come back down, no problem. And I was seeing this line here. This is like support, like this is a trend line right there. What we got? Support, support, support. I'm expecting this to hold as resistance. And Bob's your uncle, what do we have happen? We have a clean break straight. So we come back up. We don't even take out the stops. We don't take out the stops. That block still holds as resistance. And then we sells off, and that's it. At least if you get a retest, happy days, you can enter in. But the moment you break market structure on the 1 minute, what happened next? We went flying back down. Flying back down, and what happened? And I was like saying to the guys, okay, so we start monitoring it together on the stream, like in the group. And I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to expect some sort of reaction here, right over here. And what happened is, around 4 o'clock in the morning, I see that price come back down, and we lost it completely. And once we found resistance, I'm like, all right, happy days, let's go chill out. The target's going to come. We're going to fill out all this inefficiency. And sooner or later, what happened next? Well, we hit the target. We hit the target. It does go to mid-range, hit the target, go to mid-range. And now at the moment, this is the 1 minute. I'm sure the 15 minutes. Trade is done. And as you know, as you can see right here, we're holding above the mid-range, okay? So now that's all done. Trade's all done, right? So we can move on to the next set of targets now. What is happening now, right? The important thing, I'm focusing on Ethereum at the moment. We'll talk about everything else in a moment. But before I carry on, I want to give some shout outs to some of you guys there. Because, I really appreciate you guys coming onto the stream, checking out my content, and, always engaging with me. So we got Bird League. Morning to you, my brother. Crypto Cruz, how's it going? David Bart here. Piotr's in the house. Hugh Janus, GP. We got Turdy Fla. We got Justin. Yeah, I'm feeling better, Cruz. It's feeling a lot better. Still a bit heavy. Like neck is kind of achy, pachy, whatever, that kind of shit. But I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thomas is in the house as well. Dean Suleiman, walaikum salam. Morning to you, my bro. Esteban Gonzalez. We got Roberts here. We did well while you rested. Great community. Thank you so much for that, Robert. Yuri's in the house as well. Rico. Fukan. Walaikum salam, my bro. Joe Crate. Ed. Fana Country Club. We got Carl in the house. Mr. M. I really appreciate your message, Mr. M. I really appreciate that. He was quite worried yesterday. So he sent me a DM. He's like, yo, where you at? No stream, no nothing. Like, what's going on? And, it's really nice that he actually reached out to me. So shout out to you, Mr. M. Gandalf's in the house. Adam's in the house. FOCC, bro. I'm on a diet, motherfucker. Can't concentrate now. Just looking at your profile pic. Appreciate that, bro. Cryptique is in the house. Fuck Liverpool, fam. Fuck them. Well, Bayern Munich, innit? Bayern Munich or Man United. That's the two. I'm a huge Bayern fan. Cruz knows about that really well. Which Monday range is best to use now? So we'll talk about that in a second. Both Monday's high and low is to be swept. Which one will go first? Let's have a look. So we're talking about Ethereum. The reason why I'm talking about Ethereum is that Ethereum is an interesting thing. So like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go Dixie. Let's go Dixie first. We'll talk about Dixie and see what's happening. So Dixie at the moment, nothing's majorly has happened apart from making lower lows itself. I mean, we're still stuck. Oops. Really and truly, right? We're stuck between this range over here. So can you see this? If I do this, right, we've got this high here, right? This high here, and we've got this low here. All right, that's the range bound environment we can say. The mid range comes about around here approximately. I believe that's where the mid range is. I can actually do this quite myself on the Fibonacci, then you guys can see that quite carefully. Give me a second there. So if I put fucking Mac, so that's the high, and that's the low. Yeah, I was right about there. And as you can see, if I just draw my levels, and let's just draw this. So I use this high in particular because that's the swing high. Fuck off, man. I hate fucking Mac, you know, with a mouse pad. I need to put a mouse in the... Anyway, never mind. And this is the low. As you can see, it's the low. And then we got the mid-range right here. Right, that's all we're going to focus on. Nothing else. Okay, if I just hide everything else, you can see quite carefully, the mid-range has acted as resistance over here, acted as support, acted as a deviation. We've got a deviation. We come back up, go for a stop run. Is it a stop run? Let's have a look. I think that was a stop run. Yep, we do a stop run there, and then we shoot down lower. And we're finding resistance at the mid-range. So which means to me, and we have a gap there. We filled out the gap today, so no problem. No issues there. So now that, which means to me, what's going to happen now? So we need to start working out how is Dixie gonna react. Are we going to come back up, find resistance? As long as we're below the mid-range, that's no problem. Where would I be comfortable to start shorting the dollar index? Well, look for an SR. The SR is over here. This is the SR. You can see that quite carefully. That's support. Oops. That's support. We've got a bit of a deviation there, and we're still holding on this area there. So do we pop back up, find resistance off this consolidation there, and then break back down, find resistance? Once we find resistance, that's it. Off we go. Send this back down into which area? I'll be looking for targeting one over here. This would be my target one, and then we squeeze it into range low. Once we, and that's it. That's it. It's a lower time frame play. I'm not looking for a higher time frame. You have to remember the dollar index is very volatile. You know, could it go up to 119? Could it go to 120? Could it go down to 108? We don't know. We just don't know. So in the meantime, we're just going to focus on this range bound environment as it plays. Once we break out of it, once we do something like this, for example, break out of it, find resistance, no problem. Find resistance at the lower low, makes market structure is showing bearish market structure, then we start going down, no problem. But in the meantime, I'm quite happy to play a lower time frame. But it doesn't mean that we lose the fact of higher time frame premise. So although I'm playing shorts and longs and a lot of shorts really, but it doesn't mean that I'm mega bearish. Don't confuse that. I'm a trader. I just trade within the time frame that's given to me. I like to trade on the 15 minutes, the 5 minutes, the 1 minute. That's my specialty. 15 seconds, 5 seconds. Bro, if I was doing it on the 5 seconds on the freaking, that short on Ethereum, you know? I'd ask the guys will tell you. I was fucking looking at the 5 seconds. I'm like, yo, listen, 5 seconds of this. Obviously, they ain't going to understand it very well, but it gives them the comfort that, like, look, I am paying attention to what's going on there. So, dollar index is looking like that. No problem. Oops. So, but where am I wrong? All right, you always have to remember it's wrong. You can't just always be bearish, right? You always have to think of a plan. What happens if it's the opposite way? What if we don't come up there, right, as a deeper pullback and then do this? What if we don't do that? What if we do this? If we start breaking down and start finding resistance, no problem. Then we can send it back down. But the bullish scenario is this: if we come back up, hold above it, then we start looking for targets of this area here. This would be target one, and if we come up, climb back up, then we take out the highs, and then we can see we squeeze into this area right over here. See this area here? This is an area consolidation right there. This area here in particular, we've got area consolidation would send the market back down. So I wouldn't mind a price going back up, right? And then do this, break back down, and we play it within the range bound environment. Because if you see, if we're playing range low to range high and we're bouncing back and forth, right? It would make sense from a range bound perspective. Now, this is the high, this is the low, and then we go back to the high, because we didn't even go back to the high. We just went back to that 75% of the range, and we're bouncing off the mid range, and then let's go back up to range high. I'm quite happy with that. Fucking short the market down, Anyone who wants to short it down as well, lower time frame, I think perspective, and then we fucking send the market back, you know, like and then long the fucking market while dollar index is going down. I'm quite happy with that. I don't really mind whichever way it goes first. Let it do its thing, and I'm quite happy to play like that. That's all it is. That's dollar index done. Bang. Let's move on. So let's talk about ES. ES is actually quite interesting. ES, and I was saying to ES, I wasn't convinced. I wasn't convinced that we're gonna go up higher tomorrow. Right? Look at this. So this in particular block over here that you can see, we got. It was a gap on the daily. It was a gap on the daily, and let me show you. If I delete this, is everyone understanding me there? Fuck. Got some Doliprane here, you know. You know what Doliprane is? Doliprane is some French paracetamol, man. They're sick, you know. Shout out to the French. Yeah, man. I love the French. Fucking British got some shit medication here, man. Really shit though, yeah. We got like fucking old school first generation antihistamine, whereas the French and the Europeans got second generation, third generation, which is a lot more better. But then again, the NHS is shit. I mean, I can talk about the NHS a long time, but fuck these guys. Fucking sucé. You know what sucé means? Sucé in Creole, right? In my language means like your conjuice. Conjuice is an Urdu version. Conjuice means like sucé means like you just want to hold your money. You don't want to spend, you know, that's kind of thing. That's what the NHS is. They're fucking sucés, man. Fucking sucés. But then we got Rishi coming into as a prime minister. So maybe it's good for crypto. I don't fucking know. But I don't give a shit. I believe that the price in crypto, and not in crypto, in the price in the market, right? I don't really follow. I mean, yeah, you follow the news and some and the fundamentals and whatever. But I do think that as long as you follow the price, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, the price will tell you exactly where we're gonna go, and you just work it level to level. That's what it is. Okay, cool. We got Man United here. We got Dale in the house. Light red. Like, bro, Justin, it's not light red. It's just red, fam. You're a dick, you are. What's going on to your all? Dale in the house, man. Marty's here. Marty's here. How good to see you, Marty. Morning to 30. Adam. We need more people to watch your streams. Great content. Thank you so much for that, Burn. I really appreciate that. You know, end of the day, if they want to watch it, they can watch it. If they don't want to watch it, they will pick me out one day. One day they will pick us out, not me. It's us. We are a community, and we're gonna send this together, right? So when like coming to the bull market, whether look, there's two ways around this, right? You got two options in this bear market. Number one, you should walk away. You never come back. You come back in the bull market. That's number one, right? You walk away. You just pay attention to fundamentals here and there. I'm not a fundamental guy, so I can't speak about fundamentals. I can't really speak about that. That's not my forte. You tell me about tokenomics and shit like that, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, give me a chart and I'll work on the chart. That's what it is. But if you give me a chart, I can work on the chart and see, okay, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing, this is how we're playing it, X, Y, and Z. And I work this level to level, break it down into simple little blocks. That's what it is. But you got two options. Number one, you focus on fundamentals and you don't buy anything. You come back in around towards the the beginning of the bull run next year, 2024, whatever. You start buying in DCA, whatever you want to DCA. I don't believe in DCAing. I think that's a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. I've been saying that for a long time. Or number two, use the time that you have in the bear market is to study price action. There's nothing wrong with that. When you study price action, whether you trade or you don't trade, it doesn't really matter. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't concern me because it's not my money, it's your money. But whether you make gains in the bear market or you make losses, what I want you to understand is that if you focus on price action and play level to level and understand how ranges work, doubling the ranges and tripling the ranges. We'll talk about that in the future in the DCC. That's definitely an important thing. Guys, remind me about double ranges on the DCC. Remind me about double ranges because I want to talk about something about double ranges to you guys straight after the stream. My mind is it's gonna bounce like ping pong, so I'm gonna forget about it. But remind me of this because I'm gonna show you something that's quite interesting, right? That most people ain't gonna clock, but I'll help you guys out. Anyway, so I mean, so once you understand that and you play the market, of course, when it comes to crypto, it's parabolic. They say you can't chart it, but I'm sure you can chart it, Let me show you this, for example, I can do it another time. Okay, but you can chart it, and as you work into ranges to, the 1.5, the 2, the 2.5, the 3, the 3.5, the 4, you're taking profits each time, you're just taking profits. Don't buy the bottom and sell right at the top. You're never going to catch that. No one's going to catch that, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's the whales are going to catch the top and the bottom. We are not whales. We have to remember that. We are never going to be whales until we have a couple, 100,000 Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? So don't think in your head, in the next market, I'm going to sell at the top. I want to make 1,000x, I'm going to sell the top. It's not going to happen. I've seen so many tops happen. Solana top. I've seen Floki top. I've seen Luna top. I've seen AXS top. I've seen Ethereum top. Bitcoin top. ADA top. Dot top. You know, I watched it all, but I didn't pick at the top. You know what I'm saying? I didn't pick at the top, but it gives you, when you understand price action, you can start understanding where, you know, is it breaking down, bearish market structure, and X, Y, and Z. That's what it is. So it's entirely up to you how you guys want to take it, but by all means, what I would say is be prepared to start learning and start understanding what the market is saying. Okay, cool, move on. So, ES, we'll talk about ES. ES is quite interesting, right? Look at this, right? So, I highlighted this, right? You see this, right? From last week, right? Was it last week or the week before, whichever it was? We had a gap in the market here, and I was saying to the guys, we need a daily candle to close above this. And I was saying this, it's in the streams, in a couple of streams I talked about it. For those who remember, you should know what I'm talking about. We need to close below, above it. This is not sufficient to me. This is not sufficient to me. Why? Because we've got a small little gap. Can you see that? So, but this is sufficient to me to say, okay, we filled that gap out. We can send back down lower. That's the thing is, because remember, draw the happy faces, you know, the smiley faces and shit like that I've done, yeah? Like deviation, just do it. That's the same thing. Just draw the faces. Let's do it. Let's do it together, right? So we got, I need to zoom this up because obviously you can tell that it's not very clear. But as you can see, I'm going to delete this for a second, okay? I'm going to put this is the body low, right? I'm going to use this low, oops, that's not right. Delete that shit. Let's try it again. Bismillah. Here we go. That's that. That will do. That will do. Anyway, it doesn't really matter entirely. Fuck off. Oh man, I hate mouses, man. I hate touchpad. I used to like it, but now when you do this, it's not so easy. But anyway, smiley faces, okay? Look at this. We've got a smiley face. That's the eyes. Right? Got the nose. Got the mouth. Goofy looking fucking teeth. Is that clean smash? Do we have the whole face above the candle? Above this block over here, this SR? We don't. Which means to me, yes, we fill out this little gap here on the daily candle, happy days, but which means to me we are looking to come back down. And as you can see already, we are looking to come back down because the candle is going down. So where are we going to come back down? Well, then again, we've got another gap over here. Another gap here. See how we had a gap over there? And we filled it out with this candle there? And then we shot back down? So I'm not too convinced that we're going to go up just yet. I'm a lower time frame trader. Don't confuse this, right? Which means to me, if for me to get bullish, I want to see us get back up, hold above it, reclaim these motherfucking highs, then we can fucking go back up and then see where we're going to. Where can we go to? Well, let's have a look. Where can we go to? Let's have a look. Yes, I'll be quite happy with 39.40. Right, this is because we're finding support off the 2021 range low. We're finding support there. This is a deviation, happy days. You know, I don't want to see it come back down over here. I don't want to see it come back down here. But I'm quite happy for price to come back down as a retest over here. Maybe a retest off there and hold support and then go back up, which gives me a bit of leeway to short the market a little bit. You know, I don't mind doing that. Or it comes back down, find support over here, and then go back up. I don't really mind that, whichever he wants to do. But once we start breaking out on the upside, so let's just do this as an SR. So this is the high that's capping the market. Clearly, you can see that. Very, very simple, right? That particular high is resistance, and even the body couldn't even get above it. Resistance. So what's going to happen is a pullback until we close above it. Until we close above it, we can't look at it for bullish market structure just yet. It's not showing bullishness. We have lower highs right there on the spot. I have lower highs. I could be wrong later on the day. I could be wrong, but to me, we're looking to come at least a minimum up here, and then maybe come back into this range high, which is the Monday's range that we've been playing for, 37.30, which does coincide with dollar index. Remember talking about dollar index going up to range high? It makes sense. It makes complete sense. You put those two charts, intertwine them together, and they actually kind of synchronize each other, and they make it a lot more easier. So that's ES then, all right? Does everyone understand that? Cool. Let's move on to the next one. It's the peeping Tom candle. That's it. Peeping Tom. Fucking looking at bullshit like that. Pirate catch the... Yeah. Do you know what? Pirates are fucking G though. I'm gonna lie to you. Pirates are Pirates on well. So everyone, you know, send your heart and send your love to Pirate. She's not feeling too well today. So I hope she gets better today, inshallah. What's up? Theta analysis. We'll have a look at it. I'm a bit constrained with time, to be honest, today. I'm a little bit, I'm a bit restrained with time. I'll see if I have the time for Theta. And if I do, happy days. If not, I'm a little bit restrained for time. But for the guys in the DCC, if you have any requests on alts, you guys can always request your alts, and I'll chart them up for you X, Y, and Z. Okay. I know there's a lot of guys in the community, chart bit. They're posting and they're fucking on fire at the moment. Well, they have been on fire for quite some time. But if you guys ever want, like, you know, a bit more of a my own touch, my own view of it, give me a shout. You know, like I can do that on the DCC. So that's ES. Let's move on to the next one. Next one, we'll talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's quite interesting now. Bitcoin, right? This is what we're looking at, Bitcoin, okay? Let me do this. I'm still in the short on Bitcoin, I believe. So Bitcoin, I was saying to the guys, let's go on the one hour. Oh yeah, I'm in the short still. You can still see I'm in the short there. I didn't take profits there. Kind of bastard. What happened here, which I was saying to the guys, which came in time to what do you call it, the 1 o'clock, because they were saying, oh yeah, Bitcoin. Look, so what it is? Let me just break this down quickly. I can take profits over here. I can do some little profits here. I don't really mind because we're finding some support. We're finding support here. Finding support here. You know what? Let me take some profits. Give me a second, guys. Because I've been unwell, so all I've done is I brought my stops to this high over here yesterday, above the monthly open. That's where I brought my stops yesterday night. That, and it was the same for ETH, and ETH stopped me out, but BTC hasn't. I'm just gonna take partial profits and then take 50%. That's alright. Cool. All right then. So. Yo, Cruz, you know what? I'm gonna make you a moderator. If anyone's pissing you off, right, just fucking ban them. 1 second, guys. Give me a second, I'll just do it for the phone. Because if you got some people just being dickheads, and, you know, like, just be respectful, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to help, but if you're gonna be a knob, then you're gonna be a knob, innit? Who's, moderator? Justin, I'll put you as a moderator as well. Gandalf, I'll put you as a moderator as well. Alright, you guys got moderation as well. Mr. M, you got quite a lot of love for you as well. Cool. Alright, if anyone's pissing you off, just ban them. You know what I'm saying? Just do whatever you want to do. I'm giving you guys the ability to do what you like. Like I said, it's a community. So if you guys are not happy with a certain person who's actually being disrespectful or whatever, I'll leave that up to you. You guys can decide how you want to block them or whatever. If you want to ban them or time them out, X, Y, and Z, that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to override anything. You know what? Because I'm focusing on this. I don't have the time to actually focus on every chat itself and see what's going on. What's going on? Balwinda, walaikum salam. Cool. Right, everyone's blocking him. Everyone's blocking Nader. Shit, dude. I gave power to people. And then Ed's just like, fuck this guy. Ed's like, fuck this guy, motherfucker. Fucking hell, you guys are ruthless, man. Appreciate that, Jordan. Really appreciate that. Pat, what's going on? What? Fucking hell, you guys are getting mad here. Anyway, let's just focus on this, right? Let's not let people ruin our day and whatnot, right? You always get some numpty talking a bit of shit and, you know, wants a bit of attention and a bit of clout. Leave him alone. It's not really worth our time in it, because he's come onto the show, and obviously he's on Theta, right? And I'm just gonna look at Theta quickly, just for the sake of it, and see what the chart is looking like. And so Theta's coming up to here, so he probably bought like somewhere around at the top, somewhere around here, like over like $1. So he doesn't know what to do and how to play this as well. He may buy the bottom or whatever, but he doesn't know how to play this. And if you're gonna be disrespectful over and over again, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I could have chart Theta for you if you had been respectful, but then fuck that now. No, you're not getting Theta from me now. Anyone wants to do another chart, I'll do it for you, but not that. But yeah. So we're going to BTC, right? So this is what it is, right? So someone in the group yesterday on the Sunday was saying that BTC tagged Monday's high, right? I remember that specifically really, really well. And the reason why I remember this is because when I looked at BTC tagging Monday's high, it was before the daily close. It was like 11 o'clock. So for me, it's like, I'm not ready to short this. I'm not ready. It's aggressive short here because I wanted the weekly close to happen. Because if we close above here and start breaking down, we can do this. Start showing higher prices. And I wasn't ready for this. I'm like, okay, cool. Let it happen. Let the daily close happen. Then we'll discuss what happened. And obviously, as the daily close happened, we found resistance over there. So if I go 15 minutes, and as you can see, this is where I start entering. So I entered in, so you can see this, right, this area from this low here, we start finding resistance. Can you see that? Finding resistance over here. Oops. So I found resistance here, resistance there, and we're making lower highs all the way through. Okay, so I was like, all right, cool. So if it's a range bound environment, this must be right. I entered in around here, wherever the price is 19.566, stop loss at 19.7, wherever this high was, playing back down, fill out the inefficiency. Once we get, and look what happened to monthly open. The monthly open, once we come into the monthly open, come in support, come back up, lost it, resistance. It's all deviation there, right? That's the monthly open. Come back down. We fill out all this inefficiency right here, and there's small little motherfucking inefficiency right over there. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's just right there. We fill that out. We didn't even tag the fucking monthly open, the Monday low. I had TP up there. Didn't tag it in. I was unwell. Never mind. I brought my stop loss at the highs over there. So I was like, all right, then cool. You know what? I want to play this level to level. I did a good short on Ethereum, so I'm not really too fussed about, maximizing all my R's and whatever. I'm just quite, I'm quite pleased with what I've done so far. So come up there, finding resistance again, resistance one more time, and look what's happening. We're starting to come down, we're starting making lower highs. Yes, he's making this trend line. Do not get confused, guys. I'm telling you this straight. Do not get confused. If I fucking just hide this for a second. Because I've seen this on YouTube a lot, right? If we have this, right? Like, you see you got a descending triangle, right? Do not start fucking longing. Because if you had longed, let's say you had longed over here, right? You would have been down under, because look what price would come down. You're finding resistance. Do not start longing under resistance. Long, once we break out of resistance, and then, look, once we break out of resistance, right? You got two things. Either you enter in, right? You can enter in here with an invalidation over here, for example. This is your invalidation. Or you wait for the retest, and then you can enter in with a better play. Or you're looking for a retest. I mean, the retest could happen anywhere. Like, the retest could be off this high in particular, for example. That could be the high. You could actually find resistance, support there. You could come back up, come back into here. You could enter in there. But once you've got a breakout, a clean smash above, right, then your invalidation will be here, playing it back up to higher prices. So don't start longing resistance, That's the thing is, right? Because while it's still in resistance, it's a range band perspective. That's all it is. And I'm looking at this now, right? So I'm in the trade. Right now. So how do I play this level to level, okay? Number one, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do the plans for BTC and Ethereum quickly. And then I'm going to discuss how is that ready to long. We'll talk about it in a second, like in terms of the whole big thing in it. What's going on? Squeaky bum time for him. Let's see what this guy's saying. Bro, Nader, listen, I'm gonna bang your ass in a bit, man. If you're gonna be rude, man, just chill out, okay? You don't tell people, you don't tell my guys to chill out. Please don't do that. We're being here respectful and whatever, but you're coming in and it's asking Fita. I don't understand what your problem is. Like, just please have respect for other people and then stop talking and stop doing capital letters. All right, cool. Otherwise, find someone else that go onto another channel. You don't have to follow me. You can find someone else. I don't think you would actually get away with that as well. So just please chill out, okay? There's got to be a way to fucking remove him. If he comes back in, let me know. There's no need for it. Anyway, I don't know what it is, man. People are getting a bit too excited in bear market. People can't trade, and then they're coming in and out, and then they're talking a lot of shit. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We move on. Like I said, Nader, I'm telling you quite directly. I'm being honest with you directly. Learn how to trade. Learn the market structure as well. Understand how the market is working as well. Then you don't need to come into other people's stream and start being a bit of a knob. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. Just be cool, be calm, and whatever. Everyone here, there's 61 people here. There's only one dickhead. You know what I'm saying? How is there one dickhead out of 61 people? I don't understand. It makes no sense. 60 people are calm and they're enjoying this. They're having a good time. They're learning something. But one dickhead has to, be a bit of a dick. I don't know. Yeah, well, that's it. Cool. Anyway, we move on. So, this is what we're looking at, right? So we are below the monthly open. So I'm not too Yeah, the YouTube series. That's the thing is, I wanted to get this done sometime this week. Once I get tissue, I had the notes all done. Then my PC started fucking up today. You know, I don't know what it is. I think the graphics card has gone or whatever. And what it was, I wanted to actually do the whole stream. Sorry about that. Clean my nose while I'm talking to you guys at the same time. It's a bit rude. I wanted to do the YouTube stream sometime this week as well. I'll talk to some of my team about it as well. So I had like notes done up and stuff like that. I was doing the PowerPoints and whatever. And then today I literally plugged in the thingy, plugged in the TV. Sorry, switch on the PC, and there's no screen, there's no monitor, the monitor's not working or whatever. But I think the guys are telling me it's probably the graphics card. So that's another situation there, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But that will come very, very soon. I need to get that done as soon as possible. I want to get this done. I've been planning this for quite some time, and I want to get this done out as well. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so look at this, right? This is what we're looking for. So we come back down to range low. We take out last week's Monday's low, hold above it. Then I can say we can play back to 25% range, then squeeze it back to monthly open, mid-range. Take some profits there. You're going to take some profits there. Why? Because this is resistance, and this could be resistance. At any moment, if we come into areas like this, for example, let's show you. If we come into like an area like here, you see this area there? This? It's quite hard on the fucking Mac, man. I fucking hate this Mac. I mean, I love Apple, right? But they're fucking pain in the ass. But yeah, if we come into this area here, right, see this low there? You see how that's acting as a bit of a pivot there? So we find support there, we come back down, around resistance, then we shoot back up, resistance, and now we're finding some resistance there. So if we come back into this area here, for example, right, come back down, start losing this low here, start reclaiming there, target 1, and we come into this area here, and we can't shoot up back to the mid-range or even the monthly open, but we start breaking down over here, cut the trade. You know why? Because we're going to go a lot more lower, because we're going to do this. Because we're finding areas of resistance of this area. This is an area of consolidation that's happening right there. You see this area of consolidation? Let me just highlight this for you. Put a square. See this? Oops, that's not right. See this? This area here? This is acting as resistance. You know, this is the key point on the lower time frame. Remember, we're looking at lower time frame. We're not looking at higher time frame. You know what I'm saying? Looking at lower time frame. So let's have a look at this. Can you see that? Price consolidated in this area, comes back down. You know, yeah, we find a bit of resistance there, come back there, comes back in, resistance, come back in, and then we're starting to find areas of heaviness. We couldn't even test this properly. So I'm quite cautious about this area here. So like I said, we start breaking down over here, cut the trade for the longs. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Just watch it, monitor it as it comes. But if we start reclaiming the mid, you know, if we shoot up to the mid range, right? I'll pick that up in a bit. Let's go this. If we start shooting up to the mid range, then we can play it back up to Monday's high. Alright, so to mid range, 75% range, and then we squeeze it up to range high. That's it. Trade is done. Nothing else. We keep it level to level, because you can see quite clearly this has been the level, and the reason why I'm focusing on this level in particular, it's been the level that we've actually been playing for such a long fucking time. So if I just zoom out of here and just bring up all the other data, you can see how this range last week has been the area of resistance. I mean, like area of play. It's all in here. It's all in here. So now we've got, yes, we do have a deviation over here, but we step back in, we hold it at support, come back up to range high, and we come back to range low, which means we go back to range high until we start losing this. If we start breaking down, then I'll play it back onto this area of here. You see this wick over there? That's, I think it's about 18. Let's have a look. Around 18.8k, around that area. That's where I'm looking to play as well as a quick short, because you can see quite clearly. If I just zoom out here, see this, the last down candle. This is the last down candle. Let's send the market back up, and then we found support. So if we start losing this area here, start finding resistance, finds resistance of this area here, for example, then we start shorting it back down to 18.8. That's all it is. And then we play it level to level. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, that's the play for longing in terms of Bitcoin. The reason why I haven't done Monday's range for this, but look, Monday's range on this is not much very different to Monday's range last week. So this is Monday's high. Monday's high comes into here. Where's Monday's high? Monday's high is here. Monday's low. Oops, that's wrong. Monday's high is 1 o'clock. Monday's low is here. Yep, that's Monday's low. You can see there's not much very difference there. You can focus on it. You can focus on it, which is not a problem. I mean, you can, if you want to use this, it's not a problem. You can see that if we come back down, hold it as support, again, target 1, And then we're looking at this area of consolidation here. Oops. Which we're talking about. I'm not fluent when it comes to this, man, onto a Mac. It's kind of annoying me. Target 2, and then mid-range, hold above the mid-range, reclaim the monthly open, play it to target 3, and then play it to target 4, and that's it. And then we can see we can squeeze that this high. So for me, you can have the two overlapping, which is not a problem, but I'm actually quite focused on last week's Monday's range, because to me, that's the data that has more power. Why? Because we have more data in last week's Monday's high compared to this week's Monday's range. Okay, that's why I've been using myself personally. But you guys can actually use this week's Monday's range. It's not a problem. Once we get back up, right? If we come back up to there, takes out this stops there, and it plays back into this week's Monday's high, then you know this is a shorting scenario back down to where? Back down to mid. Well, at least monthly open, then back to range low. That's what it is. Simple as that. Cool. Now that's Ethereum. That's Bitcoin. Ethereum is very different though. Ethereum is very different. Ethereum shows me some sort of bullishness coming into the area. I did want it to come back to range low, Monday's range. As you can see, that is Monday's range right here. This is last week's Monday's range, and we were finding some support. We had a bit of a deeper pullback in here. Does it need to fill out this? Not necessarily, because it's above the monthly open, and that's holding bullishness as well. So we can get a blast off to 1400. That's the real thing. Need some water, man. Fucking throat is dry as fuck as well. Some dolly pan as well. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm gonna smoke a cig. I'm ill. I shouldn't be smoking, but fuck it. I'm an addict when it comes to smoking. Oh man. EBDC is holding strong. Yep, exactly. I do think there's gonna be a bit of a pullback on EBDC. I'll be honest with you. I did say that to the guys. Pullback. I like to see it come back into this inefficiency. At the moment, we are finding some sort of resistance. But look at this. Look at it. You can't make this shit up, man. Come on, man. You're telling me that you can't fucking make money on lower time frame? You can. You can make money on lower time frame. Look at this area here. You see this area here? Look at this. See this? We have a stop run over here from this high there. This is the area consolidation, which is acting as resistance. We come back down, resistance, come back down, come into this area below. Right, we find resistance there, a bit of a deviation, come back there, shoot back up into this block over here, do a stop run, and then what happens is we come back down and we are finding resistance off this low over here. You know what I'm saying? We're finding low. So to me, the shorts are going to be in place. And also, you actually add this. Oops. Let me just leave BTC. And if you add a trend line, just for the fun of it, because we all like trend lines, add a trend. I don't like this one. This is a bit of a bullshit one. Let's do that. Probably use this one here. And I did add a trend line. You can see we've got support there. So prices can come back down. If you retest this up there one more time, no problem. Short the fuck out of it. This is your confirmation. Here we go. And where do we go? Back into macro mid-range. From the macro mid-range, squeeze it back into this area here. What is this fucking red line? Well, let me show it to you guys. This is the high where there's a consolidation on the 4 hours. This is a 4-hour consolidation. Let me show you. This is a 4 hours. And can you see that high there? That's the high that was acting as resistance, right? So at least the very minimum, come into this area here. I mean, you can retest off this high and then shoot back up and hold above it and let's fucking go, no problem. Or what you could do is this. Come back down, shoot, range bound in this area, break down, and come back down. I don't know. But from a perspective of looking at this, right, we are macro mid range. So I would like, if this is going to be a deviation, then what will happen is we want to see price come back down, find resistance, and come back down into this low over here. That's what we're looking for. Right, once we come back down this low, then it's all this is just consolidation, and that was a deviation of the range. That's all it was. So we don't know exactly what's happening. If it was to show bullishness on ETH BTC, which is why I'm interested in ETH, because if we know ETH runs the fucking market when it comes to into like a bullish run, we know ETH runs the market, and what we're looking for ETH BTC, if price comes back down as we planned, hold above it, reclaim the macro mid range, show me bullishness, fucking let's shoot the fuck out of it, and where can we go up to? I think we go up to this area here. I think we come into this area, which gives a bit of a breathing space in terms of bullishness. Back into this area. Come into this area. Do we actually find resistance and start sending it back down? I don't know. Or do we actually hold above it? Hold above it and go back up higher? I don't know. But this is what we're looking for in terms of the 4 hour time frame. Okay. So I do think we are going to go down on Ethereum, and I'm quite lenient on bearish plays. I'm very, very lenient on bearish plays, lower time frame. Don't confuse it, lower time frame. Let me make a quick rollie there. Wei's in the house. Hey, Wei. How's it going, brother? 1 second there. Alright, so that's EBTC, Ethereum, USDT. What time is it now? Shit, 12:15. I've got to make a run in a bit. Yeah, I've got to make a run in a bit. Okay, let's have a look. So, ETH USDT, let's have a look. As you can see quite clearly, we are still range bound in this environment, and where we are, we're holding support at the mid range, which is quite good. Which is finally, we are finding some sort of premise to go up higher, which means on the 4 hours, right, I don't mind us coming back down. You see how Ethereum, ETH can pull back down lower, but then why can't USDT pull back lower? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Steam? Has London set the daily low? Confluence for longs. Ooh, good point. I think it has. We're now in New York now. That's the thing, is New York time zone now. That's what we're looking at. It's New York time zone. Let's have a look. 1 hour. So Asia was around here. Asia made the low. Asia made the low of the day. I think yeah. So Asia made the low of the day. 5 o'clock. We did a stop run. I think we're gonna go lower. You see this 5 o'clock time frame? We did a stop run there, and that stop run was at 7 o'clock. Okay. That stop run was at 7 o'clock. We're now entering. Yeah. So that would be the thing. That's probably be the high of the day, in my opinion. I really do think that's the high of the day. And then, like, where would I be wrong? If we come back up and take out the high, then no problem, let's go up higher. But I do feel when going back a little bit lower, in my opinion, we are ranging bounding in this, from this high to this low. That's all it is. This is Asia's range we're talking about. That's what we're looking at. So if you want confirmation how to play the Asian range, once you break down, right, come back down here, we're below the mid range. And resistance, off we go. Where do we go to? And then we can start looking to fill out all this inefficiency right here. And then we start looking targeting there, which kind of synchronizes with EPDC. You know what I'm saying? I start running almost up my ETH. Oh, did it? It stopped my fucking ETH. You know, the bastard. You know, well, it is what it is. Stop my fucking ETH, but. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so we're looking at this now. You see how we're looking at EBTC? Well, if EBTC pulls back down, right, that means to me ETH is going to pull back down, and it will pull back at least into this area here. That's number 1, right? And then this will be number 2, and this is probably number 3. We'll see how it goes, right? And then you can still come into this area here and hold above it and can be bullish. And that was a deviation of the mid range, because we're playing in the macro range here. Okay, so this is how we're looking at it now. So number 1, we have a stop run. This is the 25th today. Yeah, Steam. You're a poker player. If you don't have the trade, look, guys, be cool with Nader now, right? He apologized. We're cool, right? We don't need to actually, ban him or nothing like that. It's blessed. Look, honestly, bro, if you don't have the trade, it's no problem. But be calm, man. Be cool. You know what I'm saying? Just be blessed. We're all here together, man. We're all here trying to learn and trying to get something out of it, right? So, like, I'm telling you, the guys that's in this community are beautiful people, man. Really, really lovely people. Look, just remember this, Nader. If ETH is pushing up, then you can be certain that your alt's going to push up, right? So just remember this. If like the biggest factor you always need to remember, if ETH goes up, all your alts, right? Majority of alts, some of them might be dead, alts will go up. And if ETH goes down, then your alts, oops, I can't fucking do this on the fucking thing. If ETH goes down, alts will pull back too. I can't fucking do this, man, fuck's sake. Alright, that's what it is. Just remember that. As long as ETH is going up, alts is going up. If ETH goes down, alts are going to have a pullback. That's all. As long as you remember that premise, that should help you a lot, right? In terms of theta, because you said sorry, fuck it. Let's just do it. I know I have a heart. I have a heart for people. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it quickly. Fuck it. Let's do theta quickly. Let's have a look. Fuck it. You know what, Nader, you said sorry. I'm blessed with that. I'm quite calm with that. All right, so this is where we got a range bound environment here, okay? So the range that we're looking at is between fucking, this is the wrong range here. It's right here, that's it. The range we're using at July's range. So we're using July's range. And the interesting factor that we've got here, you see how we're taking out June's low? See how we're taking out June's low? That's a sign for bullishness, which means where we step back into July's range, which means as long as we hold into July's range, we can go back to $1.67, which is 25% of the range, and then go back up to $1.27, which is the mid range. From the mid range, you're looking to squeeze it back up to $1.38 to $1.50. That's what we're looking for as a range bound environment, because price, it's capped within this area here. That's off the monthly. If we go on to the daily, right, we've gone the weekly. Let's show you quickly on the weekly. Let's have a look at what the week has done. The week, right? It's finding resistance here. It is finding resistance. Me personally, I wouldn't look to long it just yet. Me personally, I've gone the daily, and you can see price is consolidating in this area here. So you can have a separate chart, and you can see how this is going. You can see price has taken out these lows here, and we're trying to step back into $1.506, which means that we're going to try and push up to $1.16 over here around this area here. Okay, this is what price is trying to do. So me personally, I wouldn't try to long it. If I look at the daily, right? What's going on, LRD? How you doing, brother? Look at the daily. This is what the daily showing me. All right, it's showing me that we're coming at some sort of resistance, right? I want to see the daily close above this low, above this. I want to see us daily close above here. Once we start closing up, right, then we can start looking at what's the next area of resistance is, right? So let's have a look. So where are we finding resistance here? Is it this here? Let's have a look. 1 second. It's this. It's this. See this low here? That's where we're finding resistance right here. Can you see that? Because we find support here. We lose it, find resistance, and we shank above it. Then we find support, it's all choppy here. Find resistance, choppy around here. Come there, resistance. And again, we're finding resistance. So for me personally, if I were to enter the trade into theta, how would I enter it? Well, I would like for us to reclaim that low, right? Which comes in about $1.06. Let's call it $1.07. Once we have a clean close above it, a nice candle that closes above it, fine, let's go. And you retest and hold into it, and then we can start squeezing into these higher prices. That's how I would look at entering theta myself personally. If you've entered in around the bottoms, happy days. You know, you are in profit, which is quite good. But watch it, because if Ethereum pulls back, where can theta pull back? I think we'll pull back into these highs over here. See these highs there? You see how is that to resistance? This is all resistance. This high there was resistance. We smashed above it. We can come back into here. I can long it here with invalidation. I'd say probably here. Probably put an invalidation over here. And then once we step back up, this is your absolute confirmation for us to enter in theta to go up higher. Okay? Does that make sense? Sick guy. Sick guy. All right, let me do Ethereum because I'm running out of time because I've got to go. I have to make a move in a bit. All right, so Ethereum. So we're looking at this. We're in a range bound environment. How do we play this, right? So on the daily, it's looking like, it looks all right, actually. We're holding the mid-range, no problem. As long as we hold the mid-range, we're good to go. Let's just do this because we're lower time frame. We can do two things. Number one, play Monday's range. Okay, so let's do Monday's range here and see how Monday's range is acting. So Monday was, what day was the Monday? 24th, yesterday. That's right, it makes sense. What am I being stupid for? So the 24th Fibonacci was around here. That's the high on Monday, and the low on Monday was here. Okay, this is Monday's high, and which kind of makes sense why we're looking to go lower. Can you see that? We are finding resistance. We got a deviation of the mid-range, deviation of the mid-range, another set of deviation. We are finding resistance of the mid-range. So if we pop back up into these lows over here, into these areas here, find resistance, then I'll start looking to take a short for stop loss here. There's quite aggressive stop loss there. Play back to 25% of range, which is 133.7, and then once we lose this, squeeze it back into 1324.06, and then we can see we can squeeze into final targets into these areas there. That's what I'm looking for. All right, that's in terms of the short play. If I'm looking for bullish play, how do I play this? Similar thing. I'll use the same low that should reclaim that area there. So again, I'll use this low here, this area here. Once we reclaim and hold above this, show bullish market structure taking out these highs there, and then I can play back to 1358 and squeeze it up to 1370. If we break above and hold above it, then let's fucking go. But I'm still leaning a bit bullish, bearish for the time being on lower time frame. But that's what I'm looking for Ethereum. I'm gonna make this quite short and simple there. I'm not gonna make this complicated. But I also want to talk about one more thing before we head off. All right, man, my nose is fucking running, man. It's pissing me off like a motherfucker. On ETH, I don't really get how to play it now. I don't see it. Yeah, ETH is a bit more difficult though, because we got a macro mid-range right here, and that's where it is holding. So I would say if you're finding it a bit difficult to actually hold it, to play this game, don't play it. Just wait for price to show its thing. So if we take out these highs, see this particular high there? See here we got this high right here, right? This is acting as resistance. If we get back up, right, find resistance, play around here. Once we get back up and hold above this, I could enter in here for a long with a stop loss here, right? I can keep, you know, when you want to keep a wider stop loss, you're absolutely right to keep a wider stop loss there. Play it to target 1 and then squeeze it up to range high. That's it. So this is the key point. If we find resistance, like I said, if we come back in for bearishness and start losing it, making bearish market structure, then we go back to range to 25% and then range low. That's all it is. So it is a bit difficult. Just take it a bit more, you know, just take it one step at a time. Okay. So the DCC is a school, right? It's not a signal group like Daink Country Club is saying. It's a school to teach you how to trade, right? So we do have plans. We do have, like, when I enter in, like, for example, when I entered in something like these crazy ass 27 Rs, 13 Rs ones, right? I've actually said it to the group quite openly. I've said it. I've entered in. I haven't hidden about that at all. Oh, bless you, Justin. I've entered in. When I've entered in that really tight R's and stuff like that, I enter in and I actually monitor it as well, and I'm sharing everything that I actually do. We have done a number of sessions in there already. Number of sessions to actually play the game, but it's entirely up to you. I mean, you can try it for a month. You don't like it, you don't like it, but we'll see how it goes. I just want to touch base on BTC quickly on the macro, right? Because I'm going to call it a day because I do have to bounce, unfortunately. Okay, so the macro, let's just hide all this. Let's go on the daily, right? So you see how price is actually consolidating in this area here, right? We got small body candles. Now, when we got these small body candles, you can actually see that we've got this high here. Let's probably use an SR. Actually, I'll use an SR instead. See this high here? This high is acting as resistance, and this low here is acting as support. So we are capped within this area here. Okay. So although we are macro, and you have to remember, 20k is the macro range high, which is where, which is the previous all-time high. Fuck off. Previous all-time high. Now, if we were to break above, and we break above, then I'll be looking to get to this area, 21.5k, 21.6k. But until then, we're still range bounding in this area here. Okay, what could happen is something similar to what happened previously in where history could repeat itself. I don't know. I don't really fucking know. But we can see how it works. So you should remember. I want to cast your eyes back to here. So do you remember this area here back in May when we made the low? See how this happened? So we got this low here, and we got this high over here. I'll probably use this high there. This high was acting as resistance. You can see price was range bounding here for several months, and then we started making smaller candles over here. And then once we took out these highs over here, this just starts to show a bullish market structure, because we took out these highs there and we come back down. We didn't, and obviously we didn't retest this high itself. We retested this high itself. But once we got back up and break these highs, then we started looking for higher prices, because what happened in the end, we come back and retested this support. So if price was going to do something similar to this, I'm not saying we're going to make all-time high. I'm not going to be bullish and be like, yo, let's go to fucking 60k or 30k. I'm just saying let's play this level to level. So if we rinse this out, let's say it's this low here. I'll probably use this low here. This low here is holding a support. So I wouldn't look to short. So when I'm shorting lower time frame, right? It's all lower time frame basis. I'm not looking for 12k, 10k. I'm not looking for that until we break below here and break the final resistance, and then we have a godly candle to go back down. That's fine. Then I'll play the short there. But until then, I'm playing it lower time frame, and it's always gonna be lower time frame. Even if we break up and break down, I'm always gonna play lower time frame. I don't care. I don't really give a shit about playing a fucking highs and lows up to 30k and cooling at the top. I don't give a damn about that. Nor should you. None of us should care about the top. We play this level to level. But what's acting as resistance, I'd say it's probably this high over here. You see that? This is the range band environment that we are playing. And you see, back in May, we were making lower time frames going all the way back down. So if we, I don't know if price come back down to this low over here, the 18.6k for example, holds below here. As long as we hold above it, we can start playing up for higher prices. That's what I'm saying is, right? So let's not lose the idea of what the higher time frame basis is saying. We have a deviation over here, right? We've got a resistance over here. We found support. We've got a deviation here, and all this at the moment is support, support, support. We're finding support several times. So as long as we find support, we can still play up to higher prices. There's nothing wrong being bullish on a higher time frame with the bias as a bit of a macro short-term bullish. No issues with that. But for me personally, I'm only playing this as it is. So although I'm bearish, I'm playing shorts and whatever, play as it comes. For I mean, like, let's just look at this. See this area consolidation right here. Once we break out of this, I think then we can start talking about higher prices. You can see resistance over here, resistance. We get back up with a bit of a deviation, resistance, resistance, resistance. It's all resistance. Break above and hold above it. Let's fucking go. Target one will be in this low over here, and then we can see we squeeze into this high there. I don't fucking know. I don't really know. And after that, we'll see what happens there, because we could wick into it just like we did there, and then break back down, and then do something like that. I don't know. Or we can just do literally. Let me just remove that. Or we can literally just do this. Come into here and range band here for the next fucking year or two. We can just range band here. I don't really fucking care. It's simple as that. Why would I say that? Because look at here. I'm going to show you something, right? So let's go on the monthly. Because we know we're in a bear market, right? We know we're in a bear market, and we know the price has been acting bearish, okay? Well, obviously, we can see it quite fucking horribly. But you see this area here, right? Let me show you this. You see this low here? And that high, the same candle high? Look at that. That's the range band environment it played for 2 years. All we had is we had a deviation, resistance, support. This is the COVID low. It doesn't really fucking matter. COVID, no COVID, monkeypox, donkeypox, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same shit. The chart doesn't lie to you. It was all consolidation. And once we broke out, see this clean smash above here? I can quite happily draw a smiley face in here. And it was telling me that it was going to go up higher. So you see a smiley face there, a dot. I can't do this fucking hell. Let me just make this heart bigger so you guys can see. There we go. So this is the high, acting as resistance, and this is the low, that's acting as support. All right, so I'm just going to time that right, and you can clearly see I can actually quite clearly happily draw a smiley face there. Oops, I can't even do this with fucking. Sorry about that. So that's the eyes, and that's the nose, and that's the goofy ass mouth, and you can see there that it was quite clear that this was bullish. We broke up these highs, and the next candle up, godly ass candle. That's all it is. So we could do something very similar off the same range. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm quite happy to play it within, like, just back then we played it within this range here, and it's shorts and longs, lower time frame. A lot of lower time frame plays. You can't be looking for macro plays. Look for macro plays, is not the time for macro plays. Macro plays, like macro bullish, you're looking for when it's bull run, but not now. This is what, like, you can't look for a macro bearish, because what, we're in a range, but like, price is always in a range. It's always going to be in a range. This was just a deviation. Look what happened here. I still remember this dump here. I remember watching this dump. I didn't buy in at 3k. I thought we were going to go to 1k. I generally thought I was going to go to 1k at that time. You have to remember, in 2018, I didn't know how to chart properly. I'm not as good as I am now. I'm a lot more experienced, a lot more, like, I can see how the market works. I can understand what ranges are. I can understand all this. So I'm telling you the same secret that I'm passing on to you guys. So it's up to you how you want to take it now. So see, this was all a deviation. We step back into it, come to range high. And look, resistance, we come back down, range low. Remember, we always play from high to low, low to high. And that's all it is. And it was just playing there. Mid-range is one factor that was holding as resistance and whatever, okay? Now, let's go back into where we are right now. Why can't we do the same thing right here till 2025? Sorry, 2024. This is the range band environment right here. Why can't we do the same thing? I don't know. This is just a range bound environment. I can play it within high to high, low, high to low, high to low. I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. You know, when we start going back down and I'm playing it to like 10k, to like 14, 15, 12k, then this time I'm a lot more smart than I was before. At 3k I didn't buy in, but at 10, but at 12, 13k I'm buying in. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying in. I've got bids set up on Ethereum and BTC, and it's the same situation. So we are still looking for that. So let it do its thing. Once we step back in, play back up to range high, just like it did, and then play back to range low. We get a fucking so-called, you know, black swan, but it might not be a black swan, but then play back up high. And then once we have a smiley face above here, happy days, you know, like the smiley face over here, goofy ass looking fucking mouth. Alright, once we get that, then let's fucking shoot this buck higher. That's all it is. Hopefully you guys have learned something today. Smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to catch you guys soon, alright? Take care, love guys, really appreciate you guys all being here, man. Thank you.